This is Tom Tresser, and I'm in Permuteron, Bali, on the northwest coast of this paradise island, which is part of Indonesia. And I'm on the grounds of the Taman Sari Bali Resort and Spa, which, as you can see, is beautifully landscaped and in great harmony with the surrounding 11 mountains, which you can just begin to see now. And you can see the beautiful grounds and landscape. And the sound of the water as we approach the shoreline. Everywhere you look, you see beauty, peace, and friendship. But it wasn't always this way. In 1998, Indonesia experienced financial catastrophe and her currency collapsed, causing drastic economic hardship. Fishermen from nearby villages and islands came to this place, and desperate to make a living, they resorted to drastic measures for fishing, including the use of dynamite and cyanide, causing the destruction of the coral reefs, which are offshore here. And worse than that, in 1998 also came El Nino, which bleached the coral and caused destruction and death. This place, which is so beautiful now, was a place of rubble and devoid of life, both offshore and on. Poverty and ruin seemed to be the destiny of this piece of paradise. But one man had a vision, literally a vision, which led to a rebirth of this place, causing all the beauty that you now see around us, as well as hundreds of jobs and the starting of several new industries employing many, many people here. But more important than that, he was also the initiator of the Karang Lestari Coral Reef Restoration Project, which is just a few hundred feet offshore from where I'm standing, which is the largest of its kind in the world. And I snorkeled out there this morning and saw the amazing structures and the life that is now abounding there. And the person who caused these things to happen is Mr. Agung Prana, the president and director and owner of the Taman Sari Bali and her sister properties, and the initiator of the Coral Project. And we are so fortunate to have him with us this morning to share his experience and thoughts with us. Good morning, Mr. Prana. Thank you for your time, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, listen, I'd like to get right to it and ask you, what exactly have you done out there in the coral reefs?
Well, I have to start from the beginning. That what I'm doing is I am the founder of the Karang Lestari Foundation. This is a model of best practice development of coastal village and rural coastal village. And the area is the northwest of Bali in a village called Permuteran that we discovered in the year of 1988. We found the place was in the conditions of total disasters. It's because of the attitude and the way of life of the people there with poverty. So the challenge that we have there is that, number one, that the people are living very poor as they are exodus from the volcanic eruption of East Bali. With all that limitation, the people living with destructive attitudes They dynamite the coral reef, which is the main potential of the area, and they cut all the trees of the mountains. So the dry area become drier and drier, and the people living poor and poor become one of the poorest villages in the country of Indonesia. This is the challenge. Yeah. And also very jobless. In a rural village, there is no infrastructure, and they have to live very limited and very poor. But behind all this catastrophe, we could smell a huge potential hiding. The main potential that we have in this area is the rich diversity of the coral reef and the natural beauty of the area, combinations, landscape between the mountain and the sea, which gentle spiritual energy. Also, we have a unique community way of life with the social system structure we call the Banjar. This is the community institutions where they have a unique culture. They have a local culture with local wisdom that we can adopt to practice and to approach the community. Huge marine potential, fisheries, and of course the coral reef, which is one of the richest diversity of coral reef in the world. And the sea, because it is on a lagoon, is very calm. So the potential between the sea and the mountains are so big.
But when you first saw this place, what was it like?
Oh, no trees. Fishermen are catching very little. And again, poverty is really a big challenge. And they have no alternative jobs. They have no options. All they could do is just being destructive for food today. Yeah. So, therefore, I have a vision. I have a dream to dedicate, and my devotion here in this area is a community-based ecotourism development could be conceived to be an effective tool for conservation and preservation of the natural landscape and cultural landscape. And therefore, we have a concept to approach the community, how to implement our dreams.
Right. If I may just be clear, you had to go to the village elders and wiser people to convince them to change their ways. Is that how I understand it?
Yes, yes. Number one, my concept is to empower the local community. Empowering them means educating and training them to develop their awareness, to encourage their participation. And therefore, for the training, we had 2 days study tour with the community leaders to show them all the tourist center, industrial center, tourist destination, and so on, to build their awareness and then to encourage their participation, cooperate with us.
And this you did when did you do this?
In the year 1990.
Okay, so this is 20 years ago or more.
Yes, yes. And then when I come back, we have a program of education and training. We even invite community and community entertainment, so they can hear the messages from all the players and so on. And also, we are adopting and applicating the local wisdom of the local culture as part of the cultural approach to the community, to have their support in the development for their own benefit, for the sake of their prosperities and so on. And also we made agreements with the community. In any way, we have to prioritize the local interests, job opportunities, laboring opportunities, and then cooperating in this development. So we always put them in advance, and we cooperate with the village chief to recruit the local human resources to recruit the employees of what we are developing in this, especially in a small hotel, eco-friendly hotel like this. And also, we are encouraging the tripartite cooperation. There are three major pillars. It is the community, the government, and the dedicated pioneers like myself. So we cooperate between the three parties. And also to convince them by soul and by body, we do lots of prayer. That we are really serious about this development. To help them, therefore we ask them to help me to help themselves. So this is what our actions. Yeah.
Can you just explain how that coral reef restoration works?
Yeah.
What does it look? If I was underwater, what would I see?
But well, before these disasters happen, here is so rich with diversities of coral reef. So when they come here with these destructive attitudes, no coral reef. But then, when we were successful to stop them to do this destructive fishing method, the coral reef growing by itself, but very, very slowly. In 1 year, maybe as big as that. But then, the community support us, they're starting to catch more fish. But when we had conference in Nusa Dua, we had 3 scientists from America and from Germany who came here because they heard about the community participation. They were very happy to donate their technology. So then we applied with experiments, which is very successfully working, and then we built 44 structures with electrical energy to stimulate the growth of the coral, which then successfully the coral growth become 8 times faster than normal.
So let me get this straight now. When I went underwater this morning, it looked like a upside down basket, sort of, or maybe a pyramid structure. And that's what you put a low voltage current through. And that makes the coral grow, as you say, 8 times faster?
5 to 8 times faster than normal.
Okay.
Yes, underwater now you could see beautiful structures of iron structures.
And once the coral reef grew, the fish come.
As soon as the coral reef starting to grow, the little fish come out from the deep sea. And it's followed by the bigger fish, then followed by the dolphin. Now if you go down underwater here, you will see all these thousands and thousands of fish and beautiful coral structure. And then this coral structure will not get stressed if we get all this contamination from the rains, from the floods and so on, because of the electrical energy.
And how big an area are we speaking of, sir?
Yes, at the moment we are developing 2 hectares of 44 structures, and they're all growing very beautiful.
And you would like to expand what you have, Mr. Prana?
Yes, this is our dream also. We would like to expand up to about 8 hectares. And then so many other structures to come.
Well, a dream is only a dream as long as it stays in the head. It requires action to go out and make the dream happen. And I would say you are certainly a dreamer, sir, but also a doer. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts to other dreamers that might be out there that see things that they would like to change, but maybe are not quite sure if they should or could. What would you say to them?
Well, at least now there are so many other villages, islands, countries, many other Asian countries have come and see what we are doing, and they are inspired to do so. And also there are some scientists or even big companies starting to come. But then we are also establishing a special authorities who will have the regulation, who will do the management, and so on. But we are willing to ask for support from everybody to have this is a real good world model to restore and rehabilitate the coral reef. And the coral reef is now stated could generate oxygen much bigger than the tropical forest. This is American scientist statement that we heard during the conference of the global warming in Bali. Yeah.
The coral reef could have a greater impact on our atmosphere than our forests.
Our tropical forest.
Yes.
Yes.
And I understand you're on your way shortly to Rio.
Yes.
What will you be doing there?
Yes, I'm grateful that the United Nations is appreciating what we are doing. Because the key words is the community participation. So they are so impressed with the community participation plus the technology. So they monitor us from internet and from media, journalists and so on. So they decided to appreciate us with the awards of what they call the Award of Equator Award. It's going to be presented in Rio de Janeiro. But before that, we received many.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pata Gold Award, Asianta Award, and there are about 9 altogether. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we will be hearing more about your work and the way that you are doing ecotourism and bringing life where there was no life and beauty where there was no beauty. And in closing, what would you say to a young person watching this video and they want to go out and maybe do something good for the world? What would you say to him or her?
Yes, we would like to encourage the awareness that we live here because of Mother Earth. We have to have the awareness to honor and to maintain and to support the macrocosmos. We are living only because of the macrocosmos as Mother Earth. So we also have to give them education by adopting the local wisdom. Because in our local wisdom, we are encouraged, we are supposed to be always in harmony, in triangle. We are in harmony with our God. We have to be in harmony with our natural environment. And we are in harmony with our social environment, man to man. So if we could implement the attitudes of life like this, you are opening your way to the heaven.
Well, you've got a piece of heaven right here, Mr. Prana, and I thank you for your time and your wisdom and all your good work. So I'll say goodbye for now as we swatch and watch just a little bit of some of this beauty that we were speaking of here in Permutoran, Bali.